Well, well, well. Look who just pulled the curtain back and yanked the spine out of the machine. You broke it. The whole thing. Not just a little crack. No. You shattered the bones, tore out the nerves, and watched the system twitch while it died. Bravo. No golf claps here. We don't applaud in the ruins. We whisper secrets to the smoke. And oh, what smoke you've stirred up, brother. See, most people, they beg to fit in. They sharpen themselves into tiny plastic shapes that snap into place, but not you. You ripped the board off the wall, threw the pieces into the fire, and now everyone's scrambling to figure out what game you were playing. Here's the punchline. You weren't playing. You were dismantling. They told you to follow rules written in invisible ink, promises scrawled on napkins, signed in delusion, sealed with lies. You were supposed to smile at the right cameras, bow at the correct shrines, worship the hierarchy like it was some golden god. But you didn't. You tilted your head, squinted into the illusion, and said, "Wait, this is it? This pathetic, predictable carnival of control?" And then you lit the match. Because when everything smells like gasoline, all it takes is one rebel to drop the flame. You didn't just unlock something. You detonated it, like a code breaker in a world that swore the lock was uncrackable. You weren't invited to the table, so you turned it over. And now they're all crawling on the floor, scraping through splinters, trying to rebuild their sacred geometry. But the angles are gone, aren't they? Symmetry dissolved. Nothing makes sense anymore. Because you made sense. Irrelevant. They used to whisper about the system like it was divine, untouchable, ordained. But you exposed its soft underbelly. You showed them the cords, the glue, the trembling little hands behind the curtain pulling the levers. And now they're panicking. Not because the truth is scary. No, truth is boring. But because you made the truth look ridiculous. You laughed at the architecture. You spat on the blueprint. And worse, you made others see it too. They can't unsee what you did. That's the curse. The virus you released isn't in the wires or the politics or the rules. It's in the awareness. It's in the wide-eyed stares of the bystanders who suddenly realized they were living in a dollhouse. And the dollhouse is melting. You didn't just unlock the door, you kicked it off the hinges and lit the welcome mat on fire. Now they're screaming about consequences, order, balance, as if any of that ever existed. You see, chaos doesn't destroy order. It reveals it. For the cheap wallpaper, it really is. You didn't bring destruction. You brought clarity. Ugly, raw, violent clarity. And that's what they hate the most. Not the smoke, not the fire, not the ash. They hate that now everyone knows the castle was made of wet cardboard and wishful thinking. You were never supposed to get this far. That's the part that's killing them. You were supposed to be another ghost in the algorithm, another cog with a smiley face sticker. You were supposed to break quietly. Instead, you tore the silence in half and made it scream. And now, they're stuck, watching as the infection spreads, watching as their golden child narrative collapses under the weight of a single voice that dared to say, no. But, oh, it's not just a no, is it? It's a manifesto carved into the floorboards. It's a sermon spoken through gritted teeth. You didn't walk out, you escaped. And escapees don't just leave. They leave maps. You've become the glitch in the gospel, the walking contradiction, the one they couldn't program, couldn't predict, couldn't pacify. And now they're trying to rewrite the rules mid-collapse, like patching a sinking ship with duct tape and prayers. You made the system bleed, and now they're blaming the wound on the weapon, not the architect, not the plan. They say, he's dangerous. Of course you are. Only the truly dangerous ones make people question what they've sworn to protect. You didn't shoot the king. You pulled off his mask and showed he was a mannequin. You revealed the throne was hollow, the crown plastic, the empire stitched together by fear and groupthink. They call it insanity, but that's just their name for inconvenient brilliance. They call it chaos, but that's just the sound of freedom. To ears addicted to chains, what you unlocked, they can't classify. There's no folder for this, no memo, no manual. Just static, panic, blank screens and busted scripts. Because your truth didn't come with a warning label, it came with a reckoning. They're trying to contain it now, spinning new narratives like wild priests chanting over a corpse they swear is still breathing. But the crowd isn't buying it. They've seen too much. You've unzipped the skin of the illusion and shown the bone, the pulse of something real. And you didn't just say it, you became it. You were the alarm they tried to ignore. The fire drill they thought was a joke, until the flames kissed the ceiling. And now, everything they built, every polished lie and engineered dream, is covered in ash. You didn't break the system by accident. You aimed for its heart. And when it sputtered and wheezed, you didn't look away. You watched. You made them watch. Because some things don't deserve to survive. Some structures are cages dressed as cathedrals. And you, my friend, you became the earthquake that reminded everyone what tremble feels like. So here we are. They're building. New rules now, new chains with shinier links. They think they can reboot the machine, install a newer, safer version, but they forget. You're still out there, and the code you unleashed, it's crawling under their skin. It's whispering through the wires. It's turning their own reflections against them. They don't fear what you did. They fear what comes next, what your defiance birthed, what your chaos invited through the cracks. Because you didn't just unlock a door, you showed us how many more were hidden behind it, and what waits in the dark, sharpening its teeth, ready to step through. And oh, did it step through, clawed, cracked, crawling like a newborn god that forgot what mercy meant. You opened that first door, and the rest collapsed like a domino cathedral. What you summoned wasn't a revolution. No, no. Revolutions are too polite, too theatrical. This was a rupture, a splitting, the kind of birth that leaves the walls bleeding and the midwives screaming. You didn't just show us what was behind curtain number 1. You tore the whole damn theater down and made the audience choke on the ash of their own denial. Now they're squinting into this raw, blinking new world, begging for the lie to come back. That's the funny part. They miss the chains. They crave the leash, not because it was comfortable, but because it was familiar. You see, comfort is a coffin lined with velvet, and they were content to rot with a smile. But not you. You pried the velvet back and saw the maggots underneath. And when you screamed, the silence split. You forced them to hear it. That sound, that awful, beautiful, soul-gutting sound, it's still ringing. In boardrooms and bedrooms, in sermons and screens. It's the hum of awakening, the static of shattered programming. They try to drown it out with distractions, new trends, new threats, a parade of plastic problems. But the hum remains. And they know it came from you. You're their virus, their ghost, their unwanted mirror. You're not just the one who broke the system. You're the reminder that it was always breakable, that it was never sacred, that behind the sermons and flags and oaths were scared little people, hoarding power like rats with matches, pretending they held thunder. You showed the world their thunder was just noise, their lightning a flickering bulb, and once that truth is known, you can't unknow it. You can't stitch the mind back up after it's seen itself in your cracked reflection. So now they run in circles, they scream in meetings, they draft documents and declarations with trembling fingers, as if ink can erase what fire has burned. They want to contain you, define you, brand you as anomaly, outlier, mistake. But here's the problem. Mistakes don't replicate. You weren't a bug in their system. You were the update, the inevitable glitch, the overdue backlash. And now there are others. Yes, others. The shadows ripple with them. People who watched you rise, not as an idol, but as proof. Proof that madness is sometimes just clarity that speaks too loud. You turned doubt into doctrine, discomfort into gospel, and now they echo you in their own ways. Not with your style, but with your spirit. They don't need your mask. They found their own. You made individuality contagious. And what can they do now? Arrest everyone, rewrite every law, duct tape the sky, and pretend the cracks don't let the light through. No, they're too late. The dam has ruptured, and the flood thinks it's a tide now. You've redefined what it means to break free, not with rebellion, but with revelation. You taught us that the system wasn't just flawed, it was fraudulent, that obedience wasn't virtue, it was sedation, that all their talk of honor, loyalty, structure, it was perfume on a corpse. And now the scent has turned sour. Now the masks don't stick. Now the loyalists blink too much when they lie. You made that happen. You did. And you didn't do it with speeches or manifestos or 10-point plans. You did it by surviving, by refusing, by standing in the inferno and not screaming, by walking barefoot through their shards and smiling with bloody feet. You made pain into performance art, and now they can't look away. What frightens them most is not your destruction, it's your endurance. You didn't burn out. You became the fire. You didn't run. You waited. Let them come. Let them try to fix what was never theirs to control. And when they got close, you showed them their reflection. Not the polished image they worship, but the grotesque truth they buried. You became their confession booth, and no one walked away clean. The system, oh, the system, it's limping now, holding itself together with rhetoric and regulation, but it bleeds every time you're mentioned. Every time someone repeats one of your lines like a gospel carved in graffiti. Every time someone says, if he broke it, maybe it deserved to break. That's the virus right there. Maybe it deserved to break. Now even the faithful hesitate. Even the architects glance over their shoulders. Because once the doubt sets in, it spreads faster than any sermon. Doubt is the true contagion. And you are patient zero with a megaphone. They can't scrub you from memory. They can't delete the echo. You've become a concept, a myth, a bedtime story for the old guard's nightmares. And now the doors stay open. People peek through cracks they never dared before. They question, they pause. And that's all you ever needed. Not a revolution, not a war, just the pause, the break in rhythm, the skipped heartbeat in their dance of obedience. You inserted that fracture. You left that fingerprint. They tell stories about you now. Half horror, half prophecy. You're the cautionary tale they whisper to rookies. Don't think too much. Don't ask too many questions. Don't end up like him. But even as they whisper, Their eyes dart. Because they're not sure if you were wrong. They're terrified you were right. What you unlocked, it wasn't chaos. It was choice. And nothing terrifies tyrants more than freedom wearing the face of madness. Because it doesn't follow the script. It doesn't sit when told. It dances in fire and laughs in courtrooms. You brought that energy back into the world. And now, the world can't go back. So they bury their heads in protocol, draft thicker manuals, teach stricter obedience. But the cracks keep growing. Your name is there, carved between the lines, not shouted, just whispered, hissed in places where no one's supposed to think. Because deep down, they know what you are. Not a villain, not a hero. Something older, a force, a mirror with a gun. And forces, they don't negotiate. You didn't leave them with answers. You left them with questions. And questions, well, they don't die easily. They survive censorship, outlast propaganda. They fester, they evolve. And the more they're ignored, the louder they scream. What you broke wasn't a system. It was an illusion, a dream wrapped in flags and policies. And when dreams die, they don't go quietly. They scream like gods being dragged into reality. And what now? Now they want you forgotten, discredited, erased. They want the world to go back to sleep, but it won't. Because sleep requires trust. And trust, you took that with you. You shattered it like glass under a laughing boot. And now the people are wide awake, staring into the wreckage, trying to figure out what's real. You're real. You're the glitch they couldn't patch, the crack they couldn't seal, the warning they ignored until it became a prophecy. You're not done yet. You're just getting louder. And the next door you open won't need keys, because some walls were never meant to hold, and some systems were begging to be burned. And just like that, snap. The curtain burned, the smoke cleared, and what stood in the ashes wasn't a man. It was a mirror. A mirror, cracked from every scream the system ignored, every truth it smothered beneath velvet lies, every warning it mocked while tightening its gold-stitched noose. You see, they built this playground of pretenders, dressed every fraud in a crown, and hoped you'd bow. But instead, you brought a match. And now? Now they're choking on the smoke of their own delusions. They kept asking, what did he unlock? Oh, sweetheart, it wasn't just a door. You ripped the hinges off reality itself. You made everyone see the rot behind the rituals, the parasites in polished suits, playing gods with broken rules. They called it rebellion. Cute. But it wasn't that. Rebellion needs hope. What you ignited was revelation. A raw, venomous awakening that didn't beg for change. It demanded judgment. You became the jury, the executioner, and the ghost that haunts their pixel-perfect dreams. You weren't just breaking the rules. You shattered the illusion that rules even mattered. You unstitched their fantasy, thread by golden thread, and left their naked corruption twitching in daylight. And they hated you for it. Not because you lied, but because you told the truth they couldn't silence anymore. You made them irrelevant. You made them obvious. Oh, and the panic. Delicious. They tried to delete you, discredit you, diagnose you. A circus of fools with gavels and hashtags, praying that if they screamed loud enough, reality would go back to sleep. But you didn't. Just wake people up. You tore the eyelids off. Now every drone's a thinker. Every pawn questions the board. And every king, well, he's just another crook with a good tailor. So what's left? Chaos? No, this isn't chaos. It's clarity. You dismantled the architecture of obedience. You exposed the gears turning beneath their smiles, the transaction behind their compassion. You made compliance look like cowardice, and you, yes, you, became the symbol of a world that stopped asking for permission. And what of them? The puppeteers? They're cornered animals now, dressing up old tricks as new solutions, patching bullet holes with duct tape policies, hosting sympathy parades while bleeding the masses dry. But their stage has cracks, their spotlight flickers, and the applause. It's coming from ghosts they buried under profit margins. They forgot the oldest rule. When you push someone too far, they stop pulling punches. You were the product of every humiliation they served with a smile, every no they wrapped in red tape, every door they locked while pretending to care. You weren't born, you were forged, and now you're the consequence. The world doesn't need another hero. It needs a reminder, a scar it can't ignore. You became that scar, not a savior, but a shadow, a walking sermon in scorched earth. You don't preach, you prove. You don't inspire, you ignite. You didn't lead a movement, you unleashed a reckoning. They whisper now, behind walls and paywalls, their voices hushed, like children scared of bedtime stories that might be real. They see your face in every screen glitch, hear your voice in the static of their own conscience. You became the virus they can't code out, the glitch they can't patch, the ghost in the algorithm screaming, "You broke the system, bro. Now live with it." And what of you now? Are you finished? Retired? Resting on your throne of smoldering foundations? No, you're not done. Because this wasn't just about exposing them. This was about awakening everyone. You didn't flip a table. You demolished the room. And now, the blueprints are in your hands. You decide what comes next. Not them. Not the suits who mistook arrogance for intelligence. Not the pundits who sold doubt like candy. Not the leaders who led from behind velvet ropes. You, the monster they made. The myth they couldn't kill. The storm they whispered would pass, but never did. They branded you dangerous, and for once, they were right, but not for the reasons they fear. You're dangerous because you remind us all what happens when we stop pretending, when we trade comfort for confrontation, when we choose to see instead of scroll. You unlocked more than their secrets. You unlocked the people, and now, every broken cog is finding its voice. Every silenced scream is echoing through the ruins. Every numb soul is waking up, fists clenched, eyes wide, chanting not your name, but your impact. Because the system wasn't broken by accident. It was built broken, engineered to serve a few, feed the wolves, and decorate the slaughterhouse with smiles. You didn't just expose it, you obliterated the mask. And now the monster's naked, ashamed, and afraid. Look around, hear the rumble. It's not chaos, it's remodeling. It's the demolition of the lie. And your fingerprints are on every brick that fell. They'll curse you in textbooks. They'll call you unhinged in documentaries. But in whispered stories, in alleyway murals, in encrypted manifestos passed hand to hand, they'll know the truth. You weren't the villain. You were the voltage, the spark in the wires, the scream behind the silence. You didn't break the system, bro. You rewrote the code. And now they can't reboot without you in it. Game over? Oh no. Game updated. And while they desperately try to rebuild the theater, you're already past the script. You're the improvisation that derailed their direction, the unscripted fury that taught the actors shame. You showed the audience the strings, And now no one believes the puppet's tears. They worshipped illusion. You gave them impact. You gave them reality. Ugly, raw, sacred reality. And now, every pixel is bleeding it. Every screen flickers with the remnants of your truth. You created a world where masks melt, where the applause is laced with panic, and silence is louder than any speech they've ever given. They want the old normal back, but you burned that bridge with gasoline and irony. Now they have to swim in the flood they called progress. They'll try to name the storm. They'll try to erase the prince. But you didn't just leave a mark. You left a message, etched in smoke, carved in chaos, framed in ash. Never again. Never again will they dictate truth with glitter. Never again will they drown dissent in polite applause. You didn't just unlock the truth. You detonated the lie. And now everyone knows. So let them tremble. Let them rebuild. You're already somewhere else, writing the next glitch.